dating advice. I'm like, listen, I can only tell you what my experience are, and that's what you guys are doing. You're telling what your experiences are. You either take my advice or you don't take my advice. That's fine. But you know what? I'm not here to, you're there to help people. I'm just there to make you laugh.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Now,
So
the shoe that doesn't accessorize with your outfits. Who hasn't bought those perfect, expensive shoes and later realize now you have to buy the outfit, the handbag, the scarf, and the accessories around that shoe? It's true. Sometimes we as women must know when to let that go. I think women are wonderful creatures. I do. And sometimes we don't want to let go of everything. And when your life is telling you otherwise, I believe that so wholeheartedly.
And as a person that's gotten divorced twice, I really don't want any of my relationships to fail because I always feel like that's my fault. And even the book sometimes it had a little bit of an undertone. And I even wrote in the book that I wasn't perfect at all times. Believe me, I was not the most perfect girlfriend at all times. There were times I would have left me flat out easily.
Right.
But, we all learn from our mistakes, and we learn to be better people. And I'll tell you, before dating and then after dating, I'm definitely a different person, but that was definitely my favorite chapter to write because that was the man I really, really fell in love with.
A chapter that I was very interested in, and I want to kind of quiz you on, and you don't have to get into it if you don't feel comfortable, the comfortable shoe. Did you regret not crossing the line with your comfortable friend? I read that you're still friends and very much a part of his life, but do you sit there and ever ponder or wonder if that could have been you?
Absolutely, 120%.
Yeah, I
happy
bet.
I'm happy
Okay.
that things worked out the way they did because I can't love him the way his wife loves him now. And she is just so perfect for him. If we would have been together, we would have thought about things that, it would have been more of a push and a pull because we were so much alike, where she lifts him. She lifts him better than I can ever lift him.
Right.
And I think as women, I think it's a good thing that women lift their man. And vice versa. And, you got to find someone that's going to lift you, not bring you down. And I think that me and him had such a long relationship, such a big, long relationship of being friends that it was like a joke. And, it was okay to, say things that we shouldn't probably say to each other in a relationship.
Right.
So I'm happy. I am so happy.
That's wonderful. That's a great attitude. It is very hard. I think relationships in general can be very hard. And I think a lot of times women kind of fall into a codependency. I know a lot of women who are just not too happy where they're at with their relationships, whether they be married or not. And they're just either afraid to take that step forth, or I think that's why I think your book is so important. And you should go to all these women's shelters, honey, in Long Island, and you should pass your books out because I think it's important.
Great, yeah.
It's comical, satirical. I love it. But the message is not comical or funny in any manner. Your message is in support for women and for a wonderful relationship.
And that's, and I tell women, and everyone comes in you have to be the best me before you can have the best we,
right?
First. So
exactly.
Don't put your chaos on someone. A lot of people come in and they have so many issues that, they need to work on themselves.
They got to heal themselves. Yeah, exactly. How about the painful shoe, Kim? We all have that painful man, shoe. So in essence, the theory of that painful shoe is really telling me that all men are up for the fun time if women are willing to give it. But when push comes to shove, they drop the ball. What do you think on that?
Oh, God, absolutely. And then, it was also, I was always chasing somebody. It was I felt like I was, chasing him and, calling this guy the painful shoe. And because it's painful when you get rejected.
Yeah.
And, I didn't write exactly those words as, rejection in that chapter because I kind of kept that out because I didn't want to put anything negative.
Mm-hmm.
That, because rejection is just such a negative undertone. But it is. And we all have gotten rejected. If you've dated your entire life, if anyone's ever dated, whoever's listening to this, if you've ever dated, you know what it's like to be hurt. And you're going to get hurt. And that's what you got to accept. And, you also got to feel that like certain things aren't good for you to do, and there's acceptable things that you can do.
Right.
And me chasing after guys just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, there's some women that can do it, and I've known girls that have been like, well, I called my man, and he came cowering to me, and then I'm like, yeah, I've done that, and I mean, the guy tied up his running sneakers and left. So
yeah.
Everybody, things work for different people. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Right.
I'm a true believer of, listen, you can read all these books you want. I'm a true believer. Whatever's going to work for you is going to work for you.
And that's really, honestly, that's all anybody could really hope for in a relationship. I mean, I don't want to get into the perfect fit because I have wonderful questions for you. But how about the charity shoe? I think that the charity shoe can relate to many couples who are married. Again, here we go back to that kind of stagnant relationship. There are a lot of women who keep breaking up with their men and keep going back to me or back to them. That's the charity shoe. It's almost, again, like a codependent relationship. One can look at their spouse and think, oh my God, how did I do this so many years ago? We're different. We come from two different worlds. We're different emotionally, spiritually, and any other way. Some women would rather stay married to that safe guy than have to venture out and seek a new life. That was a great chapter, Kim.
Thank you. You know what? And that's very true. And the guy that I was relating to at that point in my life, I didn't want to go out and find somebody else. I wanted that man to marry me so full-heartedly. And, I mean, he was just, he reeked of, not wanting to get married. I mean, the guy's famous line was, I'm going to get married in May. May the day never come. And I was determined to change this man. I was going to leave him. I was going to, I've tried anything in the book to, I was going to leave him. I was going to go out with somebody else, get him jealous. I mean, I tried every trick in the book. And the end result was the end result. He was telling me he never wanted to get married, but I didn't want to listen. And I wanted to change him. And I've tried, how many times I broke up with him, took him back, broke up with him, took him back. It wasn't him. It was me. I wasn't listening.
Of course. I think.
So,
Yeah, I think I knew a person, I can't mention their names, of course, but she was a very beautiful, successful businesswoman. And she fell in love with a hairdresser. I'm going to try to see if I can word this diplomatically. And he was, how do I say? Well, he was basically not just into women. He was into other, men as well. Uh-huh. And she knew, though, if she got married to him, that she would, of course, make him into a straight man, 9-to-5 job, wrap a white fence around the house, and have 2.5 kids. Well, let's say what a big disappointment this was to this woman, because, of course, he's come out fully. And he is a, complete homosexual. Mm-hmm. And, this poor woman was so brokenhearted and so devastated. And I'm like, but, I'm hitting my head like you can see, but really, get your act together. What makes you think you're going to change that?
Yeah, you can't put polka dots on a zebra.
He was into something so totally different. But I think as women, we feel like we want to save people.
We're the nurturers. We're the mothers. We care for. We're the caretakers, so we think that if we see there's somebody that's going in the wrong, we want to fix it for them. But, that doesn't work.
How long were you with your that friend, Kim?
I was with that boyfriend at the time for about almost 2 years. And
okay.
I waited for a ring, and I finally, he really caved. I will tell you, he really did cave. He gave me a ring that kind of looked like an engagement ring, but wasn't looking like an engagement ring. And it was kind of like, the way he worded it, would you spend the rest of your life with me? Wasn't, will you marry me?
Right.
It was like, and then when we broke up, he's like, well, I never said, would you marry me? And I was like even more devastated.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, my God. He's like, don't tell anybody we're engaged. We're just spending the rest of our lives together.
Wow.
Well, I'm like, I'm
sorry.
not getting this.
Yeah.
No, you know what? No, don't be sorry, because I don't regret. And ladies, I don't want anyone to ever regret any relationship or hurt they go through, because that makes you the person you are today.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad I went through all this stuff, not only because I got a funny book out of it, but I'm glad that I went through all this crap, because you know what? I'm a better person for it.
Right.
I'm stronger. I was a wimp. I'm a complete wimp. There's a day you can tell me my hair looks bad and I'll start crying on you. And I'm very overly sensitive, but it's, I need to get a tougher skin, and this helped me. Believe it or not, dating helped me get a tougher skin.
And where did you meet your new man?
Actually, believe it or not, we reconnected after the book came out. He was, a lot of my ex-boyfriends, who I am very much friends with. So I'm friends with a lot of the guys that are in this book still to this day, and they contact me. And I can't tell you how many book signings they've come to, and slap the book on the table and ask what chapter it was. We reconnected right as I was writing the book, and we've talked over an unfortunate situation happened. A friend of ours a mutual friend passed away, and we connected in again. And he was very curious about the book, and he's probably the first one that bought the book just because he wanted to know which chapter he was. And it was funny because I left a line in the book that I knew he would know that it was his, because I couldn't tell anybody who was who, due to lawyers and stuff like that. And I left a line in there that I knew he would know that it was him. And when he read it, he's like, "Oh, I didn't have to read no more. I read my chapter. I was done." And we reconnected, and I have to tell you, my relationship is better now because I'm a lot more understanding, and I'm not the crazy, bitch that I was before.
Right. No, I get it. I get it because, you do have to go through these certain changes in your life, and I know that. And I think it's very hard when a woman's married for X amount of years to find that ability and strength to make those changes. Yes. So it's so wonderful that you did all of that now because you know what you expect and what you want. Now, I want to talk a little bit. First of all, Kim Interdonato. Now, where does that Donato I dig. Where's the inter coming from?
I think, it's my family came back from Italy.
Yeah, where in Italy? Where?
They're Sicilian.
Oh, so am I. Oh, Siciliano. Good. Very good.
And my mother's Napoletans and Calabrese.
Oh, yikes. But, poor thing.
Yeah. I'm constantly having conflict with myself. But, and I think the name says into money. Not that I am, but it says into money.
Right.
I'm like, I'm into happiness, but okay, that works for me too.
And I don't think anybody knows, but Miss Kim is a competitive figure skater.
I do know that.
And you love working as a professional skater instructor, teaching hockey and figure skating.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I actually competed probably 4 years ago now in Vegas in the Adult Nationals. We're just, don't get too impressed anybody because all we're doing is going out there and just pretend we're just like so friendly and nice. It's not like a Tanya Harding thing. It's more like we're just like patting each other on the back, and when you get off the ice, we're just happy that no one broke a hip.
Yeah.
It's like the Adult Nationals. It's a lot of fun. I actually stopped figure skating, and unfortunately, I only have a little handful of figure skaters left, and I'm doing hockey now.
Wow.
Yes, I'm doing hockey, ladies.
Wow, good girl.
I go from heels to hockey skates every day.
Wow. You must have some killer legs. This picture on the back of the book, you should have like a full shot, because you probably got legs that don't quit, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I have great legs. And you know what? You're like, it's so funny because I meet different guys, and you go out to bars and stuff, and the first thing I'm like, I tell now everyone doesn't believe that I teach hockey for a living because, it's just such a weird job. Everyone, I can't tell you how many people go, I've never met I'm like, I've never met a hockey instructor, you never skated, etc. That, and the next question is, you must have really, really tight ass and great legs. I'm like, yeah, I can't tell you how many guys try to feel it. I'm like, whoa. Why don't you drink first?
Exactly. I want to remind everyone that you can call in if you have a question about dating relationships for Kim or Lisa, or maybe me. Yes. Maybe you want to know how you stay married for 35 years. Anyway, yippee! The phone number here is 321-806-3159. I would like to talk to you now about the designer shoe. Who doesn't love the designer shoe? I remember, true story, my right hand to God. My son was here, he would tell you. We went to the Millennium Mall here in Florida, Kim. I guess it could be compared to, I don't know, what's a really glitzy, beautiful, bougie mall in Long Island anymore? Not
the Miracle Mile.
The Miracle Mile, yes. Someone told me that was dynamic. But anyway, so I'm standing in front of a Chanel window in the Millennium Mall, and my husband and my son went to go look at the Sony store. So when they come back, literally, I had a tear coming down my eye because of the beauty. It was so beautiful. The Chanel bags and the shoes are so gorgeous. Again, I'm telling you, I can appreciate that beauty of a handbag and a pair of shoes. Believe me, I am a lot more deeper than that. I do a lot for charity. Praise God. I am there for everybody, but I love a pair of good shoes and a great Chanel bag. But is it worth it? And is it worth the work to have it? What do you think on that, darling?
Some things are. I will tell you, I've had a couple of really beautiful